Hey everyone, welcome to lesson 5. Okay, so today we're going to talk about literal equations. First, when we're talking about literal equations, we say a literal equation typically is only letters, but in math, when we're talking about letters in problems, we call them variables. So we're going to say they're letters or variables. So what we want to think about are formulas that are typically used in math or science. So I have some examples here. We have A equals L times W. Well, that's area equals length times width. So it's represented by all letters, but we can solve for area, we can solve for length, we can solve for width. We also have E equals MC squared. So this is a science equation, right? These are things that we recognize that we can solve for. So solving literal equations is just like solving a regular equation, except that you aren't eliminating, and eliminating means getting rid of, or simplifying any numbers. You're just isolating the variable. So let me explain what that means. This first example here, we want to solve for the letter R. So this is distance formula. So distance equals rate times time, and we want to solve for rate. So in order to get R by itself, right now we have two things right next to each other. That's multiplication. So to undo that, we are going to divide. To undo multiplication, we divide. Whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do the other. I'm dividing by t because I want to get R by itself. If I divide by R, I'm just going to be moving R over with d, and it's still not by itself. So I'm dividing by the thing that's with R, which is t. And so over here, t divided by t is just 1. So it leaves me with 1r, but I don't need to write my 1. And I just have distance over time. So rate equals distance over time. All right. So in the next example, we have sorry, I just realized I don't have my examples here, so I'm going to have to pull those up. But we have ax plus by equals c, and we want to solve for y. So I want to get this by itself. I want to get y by itself. Well, I'm going to do the same steps. I'm going to draw my line. I want to move the thing that doesn't have y with it first, so I'm going to move ax. This is a positive ax, so to move it over, I'm going to subtract ax on both sides. So ax minus ax is 0. I'm just left with by over here. And then on this side, I have c minus ax. Well, I don't know what c is, and I don't know what a or x are, so I'm just going to rewrite this as c minus ax. So just like, in second or third grade when you learned how to subtract, you could write things like 3 minus 2, or that also is the same thing as 3 minus 2, right? These mean the same thing. So I can write them. If I have c minus ax written like we have up here, I can rewrite it as c minus ax right next to each other. They mean the same thing. All right, so I still want to get y by itself. So right now I'm multiplying y by b. To undo that, I need to divide. The important thing is that I want to, divide everything on this side of the equation by b. So I'm going to put all of it over b. So over here, b divided by b is 1. I have y equals, and I don't know what any of these letters are. I don't know the number, the value that that they represent. So I'm going to just leave this as c minus ax, all divided by b. So pay attention to the fact that I'm dividing c by b and ax by b. Okay. Now let's look at some examples. You should have a second page on your notes with some your turn problems. I'm just going to work one more problem with you, and then I want you to do the rest of them, take a picture, and email it to me. If you have any questions, then let me know. So I want to do, let's do number 4. We'll do number 4 together. So number 4 on the your turn problem says 16x, nope, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong problem here. It says 10x minus 5y equals 20. Okay, and I want to solve for y. It's telling me solve for y. So my goal is to get y by itself. So I'm going to kind of cover up my 5y and look at the things I have left. Well, on this side of the equation, I draw my line. I don't have parentheses. I can't distribute. I don't have like terms on either side to combine. So then I want to solve to get y by itself. So when I cover up 5y, all I'm left with is this 10x. And this is a positive 10x. I don't see a negative sign here, so it's positive. To undo something positive, I need to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. 10x minus 10x is 0, and I'm just left with negative 5y. And then over here I have 20 minus 10x. Well, I don't know what x are. These aren't like terms, so I can't combine them. I cannot put them together. So I'm just going to say 20 minus 10x. Or this is the same thing as saying negative 10x plus 20. Okay, so either way, this is fine. Now I still need to get y by itself. To undo something, when I have a number next to a variable, it's multiplication. To undo that, I'm going to divide by the number I'm multiplying by, which is negative 5. And I need to divide everything over here by negative 5. So negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1. I'm just left with y. Now this problem I can simplify a little bit. This is essentially two different problems here. I have 20 divided by negative 5 minus 10x divided by negative 5. So if I look at this, I have 20 divided by negative 5, so I have y equals 20 divided by negative 5 is just negative 4. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then I have a negative, remember the sign goes with the number behind it, negative 10 divided by negative 5. So that becomes a positive. 10 divided by 5 is 2, and I still have an x. So this simplifies down to y equals negative 4 plus 2x. So I want you to go ahead and do the other 5 problems on the your turn. Take a picture.